Believe that substance abuse and addiction in the elderly is a hidden epidemic. Here to talk more about that is Deb Marcello with Happier at Home. Good morning, Deb. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well. How are you?
Doing great. This is an
Great.
interesting topic because I don't think this is something we typically hear about or often address. We hear about addiction in younger adults. But how does this impact the elderly?
Well, this is something that I started thinking about over the weekend. I ran into a friend whose son they lost to addiction. And it made me start thinking about the patients that I see who are in chronic pain, perhaps have higher anxiety, chronic illnesses that cause prescriptions to be written for opioids and benzodiazepines.
Mm.
So, in my practice, I do see the elderly have a higher incidence of actually having side effects from the medication and perhaps exacerbating more problems or causing additional problems.
Yeah. Why do you think this tends to be unrecognized in this age group?
Well, there can be so many different reasons, but I think that they have these chronic problems. So doctors are prescribing opioid prescriptions. I mean, even in the elderly, I know there's a statistic that says about 20% have been written and filled opioid prescriptions. So with this, I think that oftentimes they are socially isolated,
Hmm.
so we're not aware that they're using these medications.
Hmm.
And oftentimes in the elderly, their metabolism is different. They are metabolizing different drugs at different rates. So these opioids can be having potentially worse effects on them, the side effects. So, what I see is that folks are taking them, perhaps forgetting that they already took them, and then taking them again. In addition to that, having that slower metabolism causes worse effects, including impaired memory, impaired judgment, perhaps falling. So these are some of the things that you really should be looking for in the elderly if they are on these medications.
I was going to ask about what a loved one should be on the lookout for, other than memory, and you would think that maybe it's time for a loved one to step in and be at those doctor's appointments as well to see what it is being prescribed and to help them navigate that.
Absolutely. And some of the things additionally that you could look for include, are their prescriptions running out sooner than they're supposed to?
Mm.
Uh, do they hide their prescriptions because they don't want you counting the medications to see if they're taking them or being non-compliant with the way they're written as well?
Hmm.
So these types of things are very important. I mean, there are things that you can do to help your loved one. As you said, attending doctor's appointments is always a great idea. It's always easier for two people to understand and remember the orders that the doctors are giving. But also, when you're dealing with chronic pain, then you're also able to speak to the doctor about perhaps different pain management strategies instead of opioid abuse, or excuse me, opioid use. So there are different ways, behavioral modification that you can talk with your doctor about, your diet. Reducing inflammation in your body really helps to reduce chronic pain
Hmm.
because of the inflammation. So also, one of the things that you can do are involve people like myself as a registered nurse to help manage those medications.
Yeah.
We have solutions where we can have them in a medication dispensing machine.
Hmm.
So the drugs are given at the time they're supposed to be given.
Right.
They are not able to get into the machine to take additional opioids or the benzodiazepines. So they're being used as prescribed and not overused or abused if
Right.
you have a machine like that.
I think we've seen some of those devices that help dispense those at the correct time. That's a great solution as well. And you touched on just so many ways to help people manage their pain and navigate this. Deb, if people want more information on how to get a handle on this with a loved one, where can they go?
You could certainly give us a call at Happier at Home, and our number is 633-5555. Or we'll also be posting this blog to our website at happieratHome.com.
Wonderful. Deb Marcello, thank you so much for your time this morning. Good to see you.